on both platforms. Facebook has begun to act as crazy as ever. So I have made myself, or I already have a YouTube channel. So if you're hearing me on Facebook now, normally you hear me clearly when it's live, and then for the rebroadcast viewers, you're not hearing me anymore. So what I've chosen to do is create a YouTube account so that you can watch me live on YouTube as well. Okay? So let's hope it works pretty well this evening. Are you hearing me clearly on Facebook? YouTube is saying I have a very bad connection, so we'll see how it works. But is Facebook okay? Tell me if you can hear me clearly, if you can see clearly, because we're seeking to have a rebroadcast of what we dealt with this morning and to continue thereon. I appreciate your sharing this broadcast as well. Wonderful. So hopefully you'll be able to see this on my YouTube channel. That is at Nigel London. I think it's Nigel London TV or Nigel London. You'll find it there anyway. All right? Great. It seems as if the live broadcasts are fine on Facebook, but then we have an issue when it comes to the rebroadcast. The sound goes after 10 seconds or so. But that's all right. Okay? So let us see how this goes. Some probably say it's cutting out. So what I'm going to do for Facebook is I'm going to use my... let me try this other route here. Let's see how this works. Okay, you should be fine in a minute. So what I'm doing Facebook, I'll switch over to my mobile data, see how that platform is going to work for us this evening. So Facebook is seeking to make a connection. Is there anyone live on YouTube? Okay, persons are switched to YouTube already. So YouTube viewers, I'm seeking to get back to Facebook as well. So let us see how it works. Is YouTube okay? Maya, are we clear? I saw a comment from you. Alright, so Facebook Live wants to give me some trouble. Okay. It's clear. Okay, good. So I'm going to seek to get the broadcast up for YouTube, and then we're going to go. Just give me 1 second. So I'll tell you when I'm up on Facebook. That's the second YouTube viewers. Great. At least YouTube is working. That's good news. One second. Okay. So we should be live on Facebook. You can go back to Facebook YouTube viewers if you want. Just check Facebook again, see if it's fine. As I said, Facebook gave me an issue regarding the rebroadcast. Sound is good for about 10 or so minutes. Thereafter, all the audio goes. And we can't have that. So welcome back, Facebook viewers. Thank you for joining. Hopefully it works better now. Great. Excellent. Excellent. So we know that YouTube is working, and we know that Facebook is also working. So that's good news for us. We're speaking to useful but undervalued. Thank you for sharing, girlfriend. Useful but undervalued. And I want to remind those of you who didn't have an opportunity to, bless you, Brother Reg, who didn't have to get the beginning of this. This is the result of a dream I had about 2 or 3 nights ago that really brought concern to me. I was awakened, actually, because I was having a conversation with somebody in my dream, with a man. And the man was seeking to have me dishonor my wife. That's a synopsis of the dream. He was seeking to have me dishonor girlfriend. And I said to him, because he was also married, and I said to him, we both have wives, but we have different values for them. I said we both, thank you, Sister Petal, thank you for the feedback. Somebody said YouTube is great. I said we both have wives, but we do not have the same value for them. And then the conversation in the dream got to my speaking to him about cars. And I said to him, in the same manner that I love Mercedes Maybach. Okay, so you Facebook on again. In the same manner that I love the Mercedes Maybach, you may have a regular car that doesn't carry any weight its name. But at the end of the day, what value I have for mine is different than what you have for yours. Okay, so Facebook was dropped again. This is getting interesting. We might as well do this as a YouTube broadcast. Okay, this is what I'll do. I'll do it as a YouTube broadcast. Oh boy, this is getting some people mad now. I'll do this as a YouTube broadcast, and we're going to share it on Facebook when we're done, because I don't have the energy to deal with Facebook like this. If there's any way of sharing the YouTube when it's live, you can do so. But let me share this with you. I was speaking to this man in the dream, and I said to him, YouTube is a bit low. Okay, well, I can speak up. You know my voice isn't the problem. You will surely hear me in YouTube when I start hollering tonight. Okay? So I was sharing with the person, if you're live on YouTube, welcome. And someone suggested I can share this on Facebook when I'm finished, which is actually true. Okay? So great. Excellent. Good. Yeah, Facebook froze again. So let's focus over here. Let's see if YouTube will work better. When we're done, we'll share the broadcast, and those who want to watch can do it. Okay? Excellent. Mayo shared it to Facebook. Great. So, bye-bye, Facebook. You won't interrupt me anymore for the night. Now, I said to the man in the dream, we may have the same title, car and car, but I have a different value for mine. I may take greater care in mine. You may not have such care for yours. And then I began to, because of my love for vehicles, I began to go through the systems of a car. And Yahweh began to give me understanding, using this analogy, to understand why so many marriages in church happen to be in trouble. Shalom to all of you. And I'm actually seeing comments on YouTube as well. That's good. So I began to look at, why do we have so many crises in churches? Why are so many single people having such great hope in being married, but then they are brokenhearted in a minute? So we began to talk about some systems this morning, and that's where you lost the sound. So we spoke about the braking system, for example, in the car, where the vehicle, the Maybach that I love, has a superb braking system. It is amazing. It stops in a safe, actually, even if you're not watching what you're doing, and there's an accident that could happen, the car stops itself. It prevents itself from crashing. But a car that doesn't carry the weight of a Maybach, when you step on the brake, if the pads are bad, it doesn't stop unless it collides with something, or it stops late. And we use that to understand, or to get an understanding of how some men function, where the braking is poor in reference to the parameters set for the relationship. They allow things to go too far. And the ladies are impressed with them. Oh my God, he loves me, but how much leverage do you have? How far can you go? How high can you climb? Does he allow you to do whatever you want to do? I know in the US today is Labor Day, so did your boyfriend or your spouse allow you to go and just do whatever you wanted to do while you still claim to be saved? We have to give attention to these things. Then we spoke to the wiper system, where the vehicle has a wiper system. It helps with your vision. How clearly can you see? If the wipers are bad, it may have wipers, but you can't see in a storm. A man must have great value for you if you are a daughter of Yahweh. Never date or marry a man. Oh, good. All right, Sanchi. Never date or marry a man who has very little interest in who you are and what matters to you. You should not invest hours or days of your time trying to convince a man that he must serve the God you serve. Not if you're dating him. Trying to get my camera lined up correctly. Not if you're dating the person. You should never date a spiritual liability. Never date a spiritual liability. Never commit your energy as a woman, all the time as a young lady, to trying to get somebody saved so you could marry them. Amen. Yeah, you could just say, man, I'm glad about that. Daddy could hear you. Don't do that. You're playing with trouble. That is a spiritual liability. We are not supposed to be in the kingdom. Daughters of the kingdom are not supposed to be seeking sons of the world and compelling them to be saved so I can marry you. Ladies on the broadcast and those who may watch on the rebroadcast, I'm glad this is on YouTube now, so it surely go well. You are not a mechanic. More than that, you are not a manufacturer of men. Never think that you have some manufacturing line. This how so you make noise. It's okay. They know the people around me in the house. You should never have a product line as a female where you think that you could assemble the car. First of all, you are the car. So don't ever think that you have the wisdom to put a man together, to fix him for you. Yeshua in Titus said, or through Shaul said, he has prepared a bride for himself. No, the bride didn't prepare Yeshua for herself. Yeshua has prepared a bride for himself. Are you still there, you two? Good. Your job is never to fix anybody. You don't take people's sons and try to fix them. You are not into robotics. You will do yourself harm. It will cost you years of your life. It will cost you many nights of losing sleep trying to fix somebody. Bless you, Sharon. You are not a mechanic. You don't own an assembly line. You don't produce men. Then marry them. If you hear me clearly, what you're going to do is you'll marry your son. In the context of you made him, you fixed him, you rule him, then you marry him. You marry a son of Yahweh. You don't marry a man you made into a son of Yahweh. Because some ladies in the church are so skillful, they could fix him into what they want him to be. And you know them when you see them, I mean, we used to YouTube, but you know me from Facebook. You could see them in churches. She decides how he looks. If she wears blue skirt, he better wear blue pants. Every time you see them, like two little, they call him monkey see, monkey do. Like she's dressing a preschooler. Call him mommy picks your socks. Let mommy do this. Let mommy do that. Let mommy do that. And he doesn't have a mind of his own. How else do you know them? She leads him. When there's any function, she walks ahead of him and he has to follow. Wherever she sits, he has to sit. When she gets up and says, time to go home, he has to get up and run behind her. because she has prepared him for herself. And some people, some ladies, you are making a great effort to be a mechanic when you don't understand that you're supposed to be a car that the man takes care of. So let me talk to you further about some more systems this evening. Yahweh took me to the headlight of the car, the headlights, the headlights, the headlights. And a vehicle like a Maybach, Mercedes Maybach, carries an excellent headlamp system, ultra high headlamp system. When it's dark, you can see very clearly down the highway because the light projects very far. They have special lenses. The light projects very far. So whenever it is dark, in a Maybach, you can still see very far down the road and it's safe. But in a car that is cheap, doesn't cost much, the headlamp system is poor. So like the guy, we having a conversation in my dream. So I can get into my car, I can get onto a dark road and I can begin to drive. Both of us get into our car and we begin to drive. But because of the quality of my car, I can see further. But his car prevents him from seeing far. Let me help you remember this. You rush to marry some women who are not prepared to help you in dark situations. When life or veils begin to shut down on you and you cannot see because it's dark, their ability to help you to see the next step is limited. Why is it limited? Because our headlamps are poor. What are we talking about? Light of the word, illumination. How much does she see in the spirit where you're concerned? And some of you men, I'll deal with you right now on YouTube as well. You don't have a heart to trust your headlights. When I was learning to drive, the driving instructor told us for 1 month almost, trust your headlamps and do not drive beyond your ability to see. He said, do not overdrive. Don't go over your ability to see. If the headlamp shows you 60 feet ahead of you, don't drive faster than what you can see. How many of you single ladies on this broadcast can tell me that you know a man or that you can trust a man who can see? Or who can trust your eyes? I'm thinking about giving Facebook one more chance because some people don't have YouTube yet. Come Susan, set me up please. What's the topic? What are we dealing with? Yes, useful but undervalued. Hashtag marriage ministries. This is marriage ministries now, especially for you single people. I don't see my baby Regina talking to me yet. I don't know where she is. Somebody find her for me, please. Whenever I speak this way, I need my eldest child to hear me very clearly. When you have... Oh, great. Okay, Mish, good to see you, my sister. When you have good quality and the woman who is sharp in the spirit, when it gets dark, you're safe. But men, when you want to go find just about anything around the corner, when it gets dark, your life is threatened. Especially for you brothers who like to be in a hurry to get to where you're going. You don't go grabbing cheap things and try to move fast with them. Now, there's a part of the car I want to talk to you about this evening as well. Very important. I want to give Facebook a chance to redeem itself. Because when I shut Zuckerberg off, it's over. There's no hope. I guess YouTube is clearer, so y'all won't forsake YouTube tonight. You give Facebook one more chance. There's a part of the car called your wheel system. The wheels, the rotation, the tire of the car, traction system. What tires do you have? Oh, we're not talking about those who are overweight. No, I'm talking about literal tires in the car. What tires do you have? Ladies, men, do you know the ply of the tires. You have 2-ply, which is very cheap. You have 4-ply, you have maybe 6-ply, and probably goes up to 8. Do you know how many plies your tire has? Because as a driver, you must understand. Oh, you're on, huh? Gina said she couldn't figure out the type. When you don't understand the ply, okay, a ply is a layer of rubber. So some tires have 1, some have 2, some have 4, some have 6, normally in pairs. When you don't understand, or you don't know as a man, how many plies the tires have, you don't know how far you can get, or how rough you can handle the braking of the car. Okay, I'll clarify it for you. 2-ply tires are cheap. They don't last long. 6-ply, very expensive, but it goes pretty far. Most men rush for cars with a 2-ply because it's cheap. But when you accelerate quickly with them, you get a blowout on the highway. So you find some ladies, some of you brothers don't understand what you're marrying now. You don't take time to figure out what she's made of. So you go and you get a 2-ply tire. And she cooks for you. She washes for you. Oh, she fixes your dinner. She does all of that, but it only lasts for 3 months. And after that, she is of no use because she's a short-term tire. They're easy to get, but they normally are life-threatening when you go on long journeys. And then men don't understand why their marriage seems to fall apart so quickly, because you went for what's cheap and what could not take you far on a journey. Ladies, you must be cautious, because men who don't have weight in reference to the spirit always rush for what is cheap in terms of spiritual quality. They don't care whether you are saved. They don't care whether you love Yahweh. They don't care whether you are sound spiritually. All they want is a woman. My sister Michelle said Chinese made on YouTube. Exactly. If we're not careful, you end up going for a 2-ply tire trying to take a 10,000-mile journey. Your tires and the pressure in your tire is so important, ladies. How much pressure can you take? How much pressure can you handle? Do you blow out when you hit the first pothole in your relationship? I am practically, you're not going to sing on YouTube, Camille, but I better hope you find the right person now. Remember, it's Nigel London you're looking for. I am stunned when I see women at the first sight or sign of trouble in their house, they act as if the whole world is over and their marriage is finished. The moment you have one issue in your house, the marriage is in trouble. Oh, she's ready to walk away. She's ready to quit. I can't take this anymore. I don't feel as if there's any hope. From one issue? If you act that way, your husband is supposed to be informed that you are a 2-ply tire. I don't mean to be disrespectful, I'm just telling the truth. You are never supposed to pop at the first pothole that you hit. It is unsafe to be with a woman who is destroyed from the moment she touches a pothole. The first one, she's finished. Now, some women, and my sister Michelle on Facebook is asking, oh my goodness, my father on Facebook said it. A poor spirit gravitates to what is cheap. My goodness. That you need to do a live broadcast. Somebody has to set him up on it these days. A woman, the tire system, always, if you check the door of the car, if you check the door of any car of value, it shows you a tag on the door that says, this is the required pressure for the tire. Because Sister Michelle on YouTube is asking the question. This is the required tire pressure. This is as much as the tire can take. So my sister's asking me, what about those who've taken so much? Every tire has a particular limit that it can take. Shalom Apostle Larry. And it can't take more than that. As a man, you must know how much your wife can take. And do not ever seek to overinflate. But some of you men, because she's a nice person, because she's a patient woman, because she's so gentle and quiet-spirited, you think that you can just keep doing stupidness all the time. And it'll be all right. At some point, the tire will not be able to take any more air than you're giving to it. Can't take more pressure. Then the tire fails. Not because in this case it was cheap, but because you abused it. You did not follow the manufacturer's standard. Yahweh said, husbands, honor your wife as the weaker vessel and dwell with her according to knowledge. You have to understand. Do you know her? Did you read the tag? When you went to ask a man for his daughter, did you read the tag? You, my sons, and watch me right now. Did you read the tag? Because I told some of y'all, this is how you treat my daughter. This is how you handle this girl. This is how you handle her. If you talk to her like this, you'll be all right. If you disrespect her, you're in trouble. Nope. You wouldn't listen because you're smarter than the person who is anointed, in this case, the mechanic, the technician, to tell you how to handle the car. Shalom. Evangelist, you're on. Good. So you'll tell me how it works. You'll tell me the whole truth. A woman can only take so much before she blows. She cannot, even the engine of a car has a gauge at the thermometer to tell you this is how much you're revving the engine. And if there's a red zone that you get to. Don't enter the red zone. You're over revving your engine, you'll blow it. Cheap cars, the cheap cars, brothers, carry the same gauge. So you still see 1,000 RPM, 2,000 RPM, 3,000 RPM, 4,000 RPM, 5,000 RPM, and then you enter the red zone, maybe around 6,000 RPM. It looks similar to the Maybach and to the expensive cars, but it fools you because the gauge lies to you. When you get to 3,000, the engine blow out. In a cheap car, though she appears to have a high range before she blows, the quality of engine has deceived you. And if you have a reckless person driving the car, he doesn't check to see how does the engine sound. Some of you watching this broadcast tonight, you are hollering to your husband as the engine, you are screaming to him, over revving. Yes, I'm showing 3,000 RPM, but really I feel like 10,000 RPM. Stop putting me under so much pressure. And he's saying, after all, I'm following the needle. So he's going by sight instead of sound. You're telling him, hey, you're pushing you're being too hard. I can't take this. You are going overboard. Every night you can't come home until 2, 3 in the morning. What's up with you? Oh, but he's not hearing that. What happened to those who accustomed to cheap tires? That's a question I didn't get to see the question too clearly. But if a man is accustomed to a cheap tire, he will never seek to buy an expensive one. It's not within his heart. He will always go for a used expensive tire. So the tire has like Pinarello on it, or Pirelli on it. It has a major Italian name, but it's used. He can't afford something that's of value when it's new. He would rather bargain at a cheap place to get the name, but not the quality. Oh, it brings me to my next point. Oh, Facebook, y'all still here? Oh, good, wonderful. Remember now, you could go to Facebook if it gives out, then you're on YouTube, you're good. All right? Because some of you like to interact and see what people are saying and stuff like that. That's fine. Which brings me to this point. You have men in the kingdom who have a car, or they see a car that has no name to it. Oh, you're going to need to hear this tonight. They look at the car and it has no name to it. What do? They change the grill and they change the logo. They change the grill, they change the emblem. So they have a Chrysler, for example, 300, but they're going to take a Bentley grill and put it on a Chrysler. And they took a Bentley logo emblem and put it on the hood. So from a distance and at a glance, you think he owns a Bentley. So the car is dressed like a Bentley, but it is a Chrysler 300. Oh, we're going somewhere with this now. We're going somewhere right here. Ah, you got it, Ace. Body kit. My nephew got it. You got a body kit. Oh, okay. But the truth of the car is under the hood. This car is not a Bentley. It looks like a Bentley, but it's not a Bentley. So many people and many crazy wild brothers, you find a woman that is a prostitute on the inside, but a queen on the outside. So she has the engine of a prostitute, but the kit of a queen. My daughter just looked at me. Oh, so when she goes out to church service, she looks like a queen. She smells like a queen, but she doesn't sound like a queen. That's why so many first ladies don't talk. Because once they begin to make sounds, a man who knows about car says, that engine is not purring like a Rolls, like a Bentley. That's a Chrysler under there, man. That's a cheap hum. But they dress her and they give her the 22 rims, they give her white tires, they give her all of that just to dress her to look as if I could afford a queen. But when the engine is tested, you find what's inside of her. Then they come for counseling. And they're asking you, Pastor, please help my wife, because I'm trying my best to make this girl behave herself. And I buy her, listen to the language, I buy her everything. And still she can't act like a queen because you don't have a queen. Bless you, Apostle Larry. You do not ever demand from her what she's not. If you took her as a Chrysler, you can't make her a Bentley. Come on now. See, somebody on YouTube said it. Your husband left you, went to a pastor. Exactly my point. Imagine, in the church, a woman's husband left her to go live home with a pastor. Now, what quality of woman think he got? She looks like a Bentley. But I could tell you what's under the hood. Stop trying to dress what is cheap. You can't buy a kit to change the car. The manufacturer's intention is what you need to know. What did he make it to be? A Bentley or a Chrysler 300? Did he make it to be a Maybach or a cheap rundown car without a name? If you know the manufacturer, Yahweh, he will tell you what I intended this vessel to be. For scripture says, I'll give you scripture for it. In every great house, there are two sets of vessels. Some for honor, some for dishonor. Some made of gold, some made of clay. Which one did you have? And there goes Facebook again. Oh, they're back. Oh, smart. Zuckerberg and Digital playing with me tonight. Which one do you have? Do you know the quality of woman that you deal with? And you men, if ever you know that you have a car in the context of this discussion of very high quality, if you know that you have a car of very high quality, never undervalue her. It is an insult to tell somebody, I have a Bentley, but I'll sell you it for the price of a regular Toyota. You don't undervalue things of worth in your life because you don't want him to do that to you. There are certain men I know and some friends of mine who will never sit in certain cars. Not because they're proud, but because they understand value. They know that if I'm to go on a 14-hour trip in this car, I will last for 5. And I have to call Nigel to pick me up halfway down the highway, wait for hours to get me. So instead of getting a car that's worthy of going all the way, he gets a cheap one. And then he has to call for AAA to pick him up. And they do intercessors now. AAA the intercessors in the church. Come and get her for me. Come pray her through. Pray her through what? You can't pray her into being anything else. Know what you have. Know what you have. Know what you have. Know what the manufacturer said about her. You cannot pray her into being a queen if she's a hooker. Know what you have. And some of you may need to learn to save for what you need. Save for what you need. Don't buy cheap. It may take you a while, but take your time. Now let's talk about the diagnostic system. Diagnostic system. Every car, from the time I pop the hood of my car, if I take my car to the mechanic, I want to see what's happening with it, he pops the hood or he goes into the inside, it depends on where it is, and he puts a unit into a system, into a socket. And on his computer, he begins to get a reading from the car. The car begins to tell him, this is what is right, this is what is wrong with me. This is what is right, this is what is wrong with me. He gets codes. There you go. There's a scanner system. It tells the mechanic exactly what is wrong. And why do you take the car to the manufacturer if you're smart? You take it to the licensed dealer. We talk about all of that. Let's talk about diagnostics. So when I took my Nissan Pathfinder, for example, to the mechanic, the dealer, he connected the computer, he said, hey, these are the things that are wrong with your car. Now watch this. I was not hearing what he was hearing. I was not seeing what he was seeing. But the computer saw and heard better than all of us. And the computer gave us a report on the engine. And he said, you have to change this, you change that, you change that. And as long as you address these issues, your car will give you at least 5 more years. The Spirit of Yeshua was given to the church to lead us into all truth. And he came to the world to convict the world of sin, righteousness, and judgment. Men, if you do not value your woman, you will never take her to have a diagnostic test done on a system designed by the manufacturer. You take her to a bush mechanic, you call them. Cheap. You give him $2 and he tells you, oh, let me put a screwdriver on the hood. And he puts his ear to the screwdriver. Oh, it sounds like a bearing. It sounds like that. And it costs you more. Because he wasn't trained to fix what you took your car to have dealt with. And some of you are carrying your wives to people because you like the people, but they're not trained to deal with her. Scripture said in Titus, older women, listen to the speech. Older women, you need to be mothers to the younger women and to teach them how to handle their husbands. It never said, young women, find your friend. Now get mad, because the numbers will drop right now. The numbers will go off, because some of you are getting vexed already. I can see it now. Some of you young ladies get off right now. It never said to find Ellen DeGeneres or Oprah Winfrey and to find some talk show host, Dr. Phil, to teach you how to be a wife to your husband. It said older women teach the younger women to be wives to their husbands and mothers to their children. What is happening in the churches is that you find the younger women going to younger women to learn to be wives to their husbands. And that's what you call the hot rod club. Full of energy, but don't know anything about vehicles. When the old mechanic with all the wisdom telling you, hey, if you don't listen to this, and if you don't address this, your car will not give you more than a year. And then he says, well, a year is a long time. He has announced to you, madam, that he has intention for your relationship to end. Shalom, Sister Nat. Sister Reynolds, bless you. Sister Reynolds Ali Cock. Don't train your wife, and wives, do not train yourself to go to cheap people for counsel. They will always devalue you and guide you based on their expertise, not the manufacturer's recommendation. So what do they tell you? Fast and pray for 21 days and it fixes your house. When does fasting and pray for 21 days fix your marriage? It doesn't fix it. You fix your marriage by doing what Yahweh said. Wives, submit to your husbands. Husbands, honor your wife. Love her. Respect her that she's weaker than you. That's how you begin to fix it. Who does the diagnostic testing? Even in the earth realm, the apostles in the church were responsible for telling the church. Shaul said, husbands, do this. Wives, do that. So here you have a church official or a church gift given to the body of Messiah to help you all in your marriage, telling you this is how you need to function, this is how you need to operate. And they're saying, well, after all, apostle can't talk to me about my family. Well, why did Shaul write about families then? Do you have anybody around you that could guide you in your life and that could guide you in your marriage? I hope you can hear me clearly on this one. I hope you can hear me very clearly on this one. Some of you who may be viewing me right now have great value for the word the man of God preaches, but not the advice he gives you about your family. You are excited about the word he preaches, but not the counsel he gives you for your house. Shalom, shalom, agape to you, my sister Kendra. How can you trust all the prophecies, trust all the wonderful messages, shout when he preaches good, but when he tells you, respect your husband, it's a problem? And you young ones out there who are single and you think that sex is all that matters, let me ask you married people, because married ones in the broadcast will tell you all the truth right now. Married people in the broadcast, I'm going to help you all right here. You're single, and somewhere in the back of your mind, sex is going to be it. When I get married, it's over. I'm going to help you right now. If sex is so important, sexual intercourse is so important, why is it that when dishonor comes, sex ends? You'll find out what's important right now. If sexual intercourse is so significant that you just can't wait, and you know that that is going to always have in your marriage, we've been a mountain all the time. Why is it that when you get married and dishonor comes, sex ends? What is most important then? If sexual intercourse is so important to you, then dishonor wouldn't matter that much, would it? Then honor wouldn't matter. That the moment dishonor comes, it begins to affect the relationship. because honor is worth more than intimacy. You could never fool a woman of God by dishonoring her and thinking that you're intimate. It will never happen. Now you may get her body, but you don't have intimacy. Before you can be intimate with anybody, you have to honor them. Any woman of Yahweh will never be excited to lay with you in a bed when you dishonor her. Now, I say it to you again, she may give you her body, but you don't have intimacy. Understand now? Because some people get real deep, and these marriage sessions nowadays, put pellet in the bathroom, throw roses on the bed, do that. Oh, get a pole, do all that. But when there's dishonor, it doesn't work. And where there is honor, you don't need too many props either. I had a mistake. Let me talk to you about all these props, you ladies. I'm not getting in the bedroom and just talking to you straight by the Spirit of Yahweh. I owned two Mercedes. I owned two Mercedes Benz. And I said to one of my friends one day, I wanted to get some rims and some stuff for this car. I said I want to change the car. I want to get a kit. He said stop. This is a guy who's a mechanic with experience. He said stop. Every time you go and buy any rim, if ever you go to buy a rim that doesn't carry Mercedes emblem on it, you have devalued your car by thousands of dollars immediately. Because any man who knows value will not be impressed by the props you put on the car. So let me come back to your house now. All you think you have to have, petal, this, that, pole in the room, rope on the string from the chandelier with a rope, all that. All that. A man who has honor for you don't need all of that to be attracted to you. When you have to find yourself to the sex toy shop and just buy everything you can find to be attractive to your husband, he has no genuine attraction to you. A man who genuinely honors and loves you doesn't need too much to be done to be attracted to you, because his attraction doesn't come from all that you have to put on. Now, sisters, don't take this to mean that you're dressed like Santa Claus. No. Don't ever assume I'm saying to you that you dress as if you are a prisoner. But understand the point I'm making. Carnal people will always have to have carnal props to excite them. Spiritual people are excited about the honor you show, about the love you have for them, about how much you respect her, how much you respect him. A man would torment you. I want your body. I want your body. Oh, please. Oh, please. And once you begin to disrespect him, his wants begin to diminish. Why? My sister Nida said you can't sometimes. I can't help it. Sorry, Nida. I have to tell him the truth. It begins to diminish because the man understands you don't honor me. You don't respect who I am. The most valuable thing you can give to any man in this world who's a godly man is respect. It is honor, not sex. Sex will come if you truly honor your husband. The most beautiful thing you can give to your wife is honor. Respect her. Value her. Listen to her. Take time to ask her why. Get reasons out of her. Why do you do this? Why do you not do that? Why do you do this? Why do you listen to this? Why do you pay attention to that? Why are you... Ask her questions. Don't ask as if you're her boss. Ask as if you have an interest in who she is. because that is where the diagnostics are so important. If you genuinely love a car, you're going to always find out, what's this for? What is that for? Why does it have this? What's this button for? What's that? I remember when I got my first Mercedes, I was checking everything. What's this for? What's that? Oh, it has that? What's that? Let me check the manual. I wanted to see everything about my car because it was of value. Yeshua said, even the very hair, to David, I think he said, even the very hair on your head, he takes, but he doesn't have much work with me. But even the very hair on your head, and you ladies, when you add it, he counts that too, I guess. He knows what you do to yourself. The most minor things in your life matter to Yahweh. That's how you know a man has interest in you. When the little things, the minor things he asks about, why do you do? It is not that, I am telling you men again, do not ask her as if she's your little daughter. You asking out of interest. Baby, why are you doing this? Even if it's something you don't like. Why did you just do that? What's the cause for you to act this way? Why did you talk to me like this morning? Were you upset? What made you upset? And you listen. You listen. My mechanic friend who taught me mechanics used to always tell me, shh. I'm listening to the engine. Quiet. I need to hear the engine. Don't talk. I need to hear. I want to pay attention to the engine. Bless you, Apostle Larry. Listen. It never hurts you. You could have the best wife in the world if you learn to listen. And that's all some of them really want from you. Just pay attention so that you can know exactly what the vehicle requires of you. And the final thing I'll talk about before we leave, because I'll do another part of this, is the fact that, or two more things. Your car, as long as it is in working condition, and I know some ladies, you may feel very, very touched by this. Some of y'all, my baby said she was crying all day today. But believe me, when you hear this tonight, it may really, really hurt you. But I have to say it. A car, as long as it is in working condition, it is always willing to go as far as it has to get you to where you need to go. Now, you brothers need to hear me, because some of y'all are ungrateful, and I need to rebuke you right now. As long as your car is in working condition, it is always willing to go as far as it has to get you to where you want to go. It sometimes runs until it breaks down in an effort to get you to where you want to go. And the best you could do is get off the car and wait for another one to put you in and take you where you want to go. You don't even linger with the vehicle. But when you love it, you sit by the road and say, though my car has broken down, I will not leave it. I will wait until help comes to fix this car, and I will go in the AAA truck, and I'll ensure you take my car to the garage, because I refuse to leave you by the side of the road. But some of you brothers, Yahweh rebuke you tonight. He rebukes you because you don't even appreciate the fact that this woman is going beyond what you could even imagine just to get you where you want to go. All the gauges are showing that she's about to break down, but she's saying, with the very last I have inside of me, I shall take you as far as I can go. And I know I may break down on the way, but I'll try my best to get you there. And you don't even value that. You'd rather stop something else, jump off this car, and tell the driver, you know how long I know that was going to break down? The Lord rebuke you. You're not a man who values anything. Sit with her. Ensure that she's fixed. And when my Mercedes was down, I went home, but I knew where she was. And all night I'm thinking, well, now what does this mechanic do tomorrow? What does he have to do? When? How soon? That was my question. How soon can I get her back? How quickly can you give her back to me? And when I get her back, guaranteed I don't have to go through this again. Ensure I don't have to suffer this again. because they don't intend to have my car breaking down every minute. When I put it in your hands, fix her. That's the job of the older men in the church. The older women in the church have the right to fix her. So when you get her back, she is not going to keep breaking down every 2 minutes. But no, you want a cheap bush mechanic. Tie 2 wires around the back and drag her down the road. How much is she worth to you? Is she worth your sitting at the side of the road until she's fixed? How much is she worth? You don't abandon what you love to find anything that goes where you're going. How much does she mean to you? And as a father, I teach my daughters the principle. Daddy values you. Daddy loves you. Daddy will wait with you if it's for 3 years, and we'll deal with this every day until you get it right. Because Daddy will teach you that any man who comes into your life doesn't jump off the car and find another one. No, he sits with you until you get it right. Daddy will ensure that you get it right. Daddy's not going to just drop you and say, I don't care what you say. No, he's going to sit right here and say, you will get it right. You will get this right now. Tomorrow you do it wrong again, you're still wrong. Fix it. We have to get this right. Cheap men who want a cheap car will jump and find something else because he doesn't care whether you stay at the side of the road, if they junk you, they throw it. He doesn't care. Search your heart, brothers. Do you value the effort she made to go as far as she got to with you? Don't forget what you started out with. My Lord, Sister Misha said he might even take a donkey cart. Oh, Facebook is on fire tonight. She said he may even take a donkey cart to get them there. They don't care the quality what they have. But do you value that? Will you stay with your vehicle? That's it, Cardi. Will you stay? Will you sit and stay? Will you sit with her and ensure that she's okay? And when they take my car to the garage, I stand and I will ensure you put it in the garage. Don't put it outside in the rain. No. Put it under the shed. Park it properly. Secure it. Ensure that while she is away from me, she's still safe. That's the job of a godly mother, to help you to get it right. Men trust the mothers in the church. Bless you, Sister Dart. You need to trust people who are godly to help you to have a godly family and a godly wife. They don't want to harm you. I pray tonight this helped at least one of y'all, at least one of you. I hope this helped. And I hope that you take careful consideration about how much and how far your wife went with you to get you to where you are right now. Oh, my daughter said it feels frustrating to feel undervalued. It's a terrible thing for a woman to feel that a man doesn't really value her. And she normally announces it to you in many ways. For example, she says, you don't listen to me. She's telling you you don't value me. That's the first thing your wife tells you. You don't listen to me. That's her announcing to you that you don't value who I am. I don't feel as if you value me. I would go at length. She would sit and she'd listen to you attentively. And once she begins to open her mouth, you're busy. Take time to listen. The second thing she does is she looks at how you treat her when she isn't well. If she's sick, you still want to do everything. Take care of the babies. Cook the food. Do this. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. She is not well. The least you can do is show her that you have understanding. You're not well today, so I'll do something. If you can't cook, find food from somewhere. Buy it. Go to mommy, whatever you have to do, but ensure that she doesn't have to go and slave in the kitchen if she's sick. Women pay attention to little things. And then you tell her she's bearing malice. No, she has good memory. She isn't bearing malice. She could remember the things you did, and it hurts, and you didn't address them. My goodness, wow. It's sad. It's sad, Sister Misha. You have got some women who did everything in their life to get you to where you want to go. And you left her. And you abandoned them. Or at this moment, you're not paying attention to them. I'm asking you, brothers, to repent. Repent, refocus. Give value to where it's due. Honor the fact that she made the effort to take you to where you want to go. Some women would applaud you in your youth when you tried everything. She said, yes, let's try that. Oh, yes, let's try that. Oh, let's try that. Let's try that. She applauded you, and then she asked you just once to support her in one thing, and you couldn't be found. You need to repent. You need to repent. I bid you shalom, and I pray that I helped you, at least one of you. Because this can't continue. I repeat, I was awakened from a dream because it hurt me so much to see. Wow. It hurt me so much to see that this man in my dream was telling me, in essence, don't check for your wife. Don't worry about her. She's not important to you. And I said to him, we both have cars, but I value mine more than you value yours. And that was not a compliment for him. Shalom. I love you all. YouTube, you did well. Facebook, let's see how it goes tonight for the rebroadcast. But if, for any reason, you cannot hear on this rebroadcast on Facebook, you can find me on YouTube, and you'll certainly hear here. All right? Shalom. Love you all. See you soon.